I was going through an interview process with this company in Chicago, not to be named, but they made me go through an 8-step interview process with a final demonstration. And every time I talked to one of the individuals there, I said, I just want to make sure my experience isn't the thing that doesn't get me the job. No, we really like you. We think you have the skills. So we go through this process, 8 interviews later, a final demonstration where they gave me a sandbox to their actual product, spent the entire weekend working on it, making sure that I was going to give the best demonstration. Go through the demo, even they stop me mid demo. They say, wow, how long have you spent in this product? Well, hey, I really want to do this career. So yeah, I've given it everything I have. Well, about a week later, I hear from them, hey, Ryan, we ended up going in a different direction. Okay, can you give me some feedback? Was it the demonstration that I gave? And that was really the first time I'd given a technical demonstration. And they're like, no, we actually think you gave the better demonstration, but we're going to go with the guy with more experience. And that was heartbreaking.
What's up, SC Nation? Ramsey here, driving into work. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am a solution specialist out of Ottawa, Canada, and I help SEs scale up and get better at what they do. Lately, I've been helping some salespeople as well, but technical sales at least. And Ryan's story, the one that you just heard, is not unique, unfortunately. And Ryan's story happened a few years ago. Things like that have been happening very recently. I actually have 3 people I've been helping, all applied to the same company in different locations, and they were all treated like crap. Now, let's get into details. I'm not going to name that company because, well, I have my reasons to not name them. But if you reach out to me privately and say, hey, which company was that, and should I apply to it, I'll tell you the company name, and I will say no. Now, here's the thing. 2 of the people I was helping are experienced SEs. One is an experienced cybersecurity professional, so I guess that limits a little bit what I'm talking about. And self-taught, self-made, amazing candidate. Now, the first one I helped, we went through the entire interview process. He got a referral to get the interview, which is always the way to go. And then after that, he did the first interview, he did the second interview, he did the third interview. Everything's going well, getting lots of great feedback because he's a good SE. And sometimes all we need to do is help them show that they're great SEs. He got invited to do the panel interview, which is a demo. He prepared for it. It's a presentation, not a demo. He prepared for it, spent time, invested in it. Did it, got great feedback, got ghosted. I understand people getting ghosted by a recruiter after the first call. But getting ghosted after investing so much time is criminal. So if you're a hiring manager, please do not ghost anyone. Now, I did some digging, and it seems that there were some reorgs within that team that was hiring. That's still no excuse. There's a recruiter who should be reaching out. There's other SEs that interviewed that person that could provide that feedback, like, hey, we got some reorgs, I don't know what's happening. Like, I've been in situations where I interviewed and there were reorgs, and as soon as there was a reorg, the manager would call me up and say, like, hey, this is what's happening, we have a hiring freeze because of this. Thank you, I appreciate that. Why don't other people have the decency to do that? Because people are investing their time, and they did everything right. They made sure they qualified themselves in or out, in this case qualified themselves, and they got to do the panel interview, and still got rejected. Another one, he went through the same thing. He has 1.5 years of experience as a senior sales engineer. He immediately got the first job as a senior sales engineer. Did the interview, doing amazing. Did the presentation, doing amazing. They got him to interview with the director of pre-sales. Same company, different location. And then the feedback that they got is we're looking for someone with 15 years of experience. That is something to qualify in or out on the first call. You don't wait. Are you going to pay that individual back for the amount of time he spent doing the presentation, preparing for the interviews, researching? Because the interviews are not easy. People have to prepare for them. You as a hiring manager are just sitting there asking questions you're not even doing the scheduling. You're having a recruiter doing the scheduling, and you didn't ask hey, do you have 15 years of experience, because that's what we're looking for. And some people are going to say, well, it's the director who came back and said they need that. Isn't the hiring manager talking to the director? The last one, they interviewed him. He did great on the first interview, did great on the second interview, and then he got rejected, so that's not bad. He got rejected because he didn't have experience in a certain technology, which, why didn't they tell him, like, from the first interview, why didn't they ask about that technology and qualify or not? But that's not as big of a deal. They didn't get the kids' hopes up. They didn't do anything mean, so I'm okay with the last one. I mean, it could have been better, but, you know, I'm not expecting perfection. But the other two who went through the interview process and did the panel interview, talked to the director, only to find out that this is something they could have been qualified out from day one. That's just ridiculous at this point. And I'm sorry I'm ranting, but it is something that's been weighing on me. Now, as an individual contributor, as someone who's interviewing, you can't do much about the ghosting situation where you did everything right and they just ghosted you. You could connect with people. I personally, when I interview, I connect with everyone on LinkedIn after I interview with them, and I send them a thank you note, and I try to get their email so that if something happens, I can reach out and say, like, hey, I haven't heard back from anyone. Can you help me get an answer? Or I just move on, honestly. Like, the best way to overcome being ghosted is to have a large funnel of opportunities as a SE. Now, for the last one, where it's like, we need 15 years of experience after he did 6 interviews. One thing you can do for that is when you're talking to the hiring manager, like, you can ask discovery questions. Like, who else are you interviewing? What are some of the reasons you might see that I won't get the job? Just if the job posting says we need someone with 15 years experience, which is not, you can ask, okay, I don't have 15 years of experience. This is going to be a problem. And build a huge funnel of opportunities as much as you can. It's a tough market in general right now, so building a huge funnel is not ideal. But also, if you're not desperate to leave your job, then you shouldn't worry about it too much. But for hiring managers, you should feel ashamed, honestly. Like, I am going to shame you. If you're a hiring manager and you're doing that, you know yourself. And you should feel ashamed. If you're a hiring manager who's looking to hire people in cybersecurity, I'm not focused on cybersecurity, but I happen to have lots of great candidates in that industry. Let me know. I can refer them to you, as long as you promise not to do this crap to them. So yeah, I guess that's my rant. If you enjoy car rants like this, let me know. Maybe I'll do more, because I don't seem to have time to record any other time. But yeah, that's 8 minutes of me being pissed off. I hope you enjoyed it. With that, get back to work.